Hello students, hope you are doing fine. I Nidhi Agarwal, your science matter again with you with my fourth part of chapter cell. I am starting this video in continuation with part 3. That part 3 we have talked about the certain organelles and today we will discuss organelles one by one. As I have already told you that cell contains many organelles and each and every organelle perform different function. Each cellular function is done by the organelle and today we will start with endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is the most important organelle of cell. It consists of, see the diagram, it consists of tubule-like structure. These tubule-like structure are very clear to you. This is connected with the nuclear pore and starting from the nuclear pore it reaches to the plasma membrane. It's a connecting link between the nuclear pore and the plasma membrane. The structure of the endoplasmic reticulum is formed by the sacs, tubules and vesicle. Basically, its main function is to synthesize protein. As when we have discussed the structure of nucleus, I have told you that ribosomes are formed inside the nucleus. These ribosomes are responsible for protein synthesis. So, how come it possible that these protein synthesis is done with the help of endoplasmic reticulum? The question is how ribosomes occur or ribosomes synthesize protein. Basically, when the nucleus creates ribosomes, these ribosomes with the help of nuclear pore pass it from the nucleus inside the cytoplasm and they reside on the endoplasmic reticulum. On endoplasmic reticulum, they perform the synthesis of protein. That's why the surface of the endoplasmic reticulum become rough. In some cells, we can see the endoplasmic reticulum is very smooth because it does not have ribosomes and it does not help in protein synthesis. So, we can say endoplasmic reticulum are of two types, rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. See the definition? Endoplasmic reticulum is a complex network of membrane bound organelle. It is connected to both the outer nuclear as well as the plasma membrane. As I have shown you in the diagram, this is the nuclear pore. From this, the endoplasmic reticulum in form of tubules are coming out and it is connected to the plasma membrane. These are present in all the cells except prokaryotes and in RBCs. So, when RBC get matured, it become enucleated. That means there is no nucleus present. So, we can say endoplasmic reticulum is also not present in RBCs. Depending upon the presence or absence of ribosomes, these are of two types, rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Where if endoplasmic reticulum is having the presence of ribosomes, it is known as rough endoplasmic reticulum, while when it does not have, that means absence of ribosomes, shows the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Now we talk about the functions of endoplasmic reticulum. As I have told you that the main function of the ribosomes is protein synthesis. So, endoplasmic reticulum, because it contains ribosomes on it, so main function is protein synthesis. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum, where ribosomes are absent, help in lipid synthesis, whereas endoplasmic reticulum help in the transport of the substance because it is connected from the nucleus, from the nuclear pore, and from the nuclear pore it passes the substance from the nucleus inside the cytoplasm. It gives internal support to the cytoplasm as well because it is connected, it acts as a pathway between the nucleus and the cytoplasm. Endoplasmic reticulum gives large surface area for synthesis of many chemicals and various physiological activities. Basically, when we talk about the endoplasmic reticulum and its surfaces, it carries a large amount. It covers the large amount of surface because here all the physiological activities take place, as it also take part in detoxifying many poisons and drugs. During cell division, later we will discuss this topic, cell division. Now briefly I will explain you when the cell divides. It is known as cell division. During cell division, nuclear envelope is provided by the endoplasmic reticulum. This is the next most important function of the endoplasmic reticulum. Now it's very important to learn the difference between the smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum. Hope on the basis of these differences you are able to learn about the difference. So do write in your notebook, and if you find any problem, do ask me by writing in comment section. Now the next organelle we will talk about is Golgi apparatus. As its name is very curious, Golgi. This name comes from the name of the scientist, that is Camillo Golgi. Actually, Camillo Golgi discovered this organelle by the name Golgi apparatus. See the structure of this Golgi apparatus, a very complex structure you able to see. See, these are the stack of sacks. Here you will find the stack. Now the question arises, what is a stack? When you put coins one above the other, it forms a stack. In the same way, here also in Golgi apparatus, the membranes are in the form of sac and they are arranged in the form of membrane bound sac and known as stack. These stacks are known as cisternae. See the structure of these sac, you can find it in form of stack, that is known as cisternae. These cisternae when synthesize some chemical substance. Basically, the main function of Golgi apparatus is synthesis of the chemical substance. These chemical substance when secreted stored in the vesicle known as secretory vesicle. You can see here the oval-like structure present near the stacks. These are known as vesicles, and these vesicles mainly show the synthesized substance which is synthesized by the Golgi apparatus. These stacks is having a small lumen. Somewhere you will find the wide lumen at the corners, but in between you will find the very small lumen. So see something about Golgi apparatus. It is located in the cytoplasm next to the endoplasmic reticulum and near the cell nucleus. It's an organelle of membrane bound sac, tubule and vesicles. Its structure is made up of stack of sac which are thin and curved known as cisternae. The membrane of cisternae are not connected. As you can see, they are separated. They are not interconnected with each other. आपको यहाँ से बहुत क्लियरली पता चल रहा होगा कि ये आपस में जुड़ी भी नहीं है, सब बिल्कुल सेपरेटेड है. Cisternae occur in small stack, tubules and vesicle occurs on their periphery. आप देख रहे हैं ये जो वेसिकल्स यहाँ पर मैंने आपको दिखाए हैं ओवल शेप के, इन वेसिकल्स का काम होता है जो सब्सटेंस गोल्गी apparatus सिक्रीट करता है वो इसके अंदर वेसिकल के अंदर पैक्ड हो जाते हैं और यहीं से पैक करके बाहर भेजे जाते हैं. So these are present at the periphery of the Golgi apparatus. The main function of Golgi apparatus are mainly the synthesis of the substance, that is all type of substance which are to be secreted are packed in vesicle by Golgi apparatus for passage to outside. It's sent to the outside environment. Now comes the very important organelle, that is mitochondria. You have heard about mitochondria, something about mitochondria, that mitochondria is an organelle which contains energy in form of ATP. How come it possible? See, you will learn this in your next senior classes, basically in 10th, but I will give you some idea because it's very necessary to learn something about mitochondria here in class 9. Mitochondria, when the food gets digested in our body, it moves into the cell with the help of the blood capillaries, where the food gets broken down into different components. It gets stored inside the mitochondria, where the aerobic respiration gets complete. So, mitochondria is the site of aerobic respiration, because when the food gets oxidized in the cell with the help of Krebs cycle, it releases a large amount of energy. That energy is stored in the mitochondria in form of ATP, that we call the adenosine triphosphate. This ATP will help us in metabolic activities and control all and provide energy to all the metabolic function. So see the diagram of mitochondria, how it do. It's a complex like structure. Here you will find an outer membrane and the inner membrane. This inner membrane is quite complex because it is divided or it's turned into fold. These folds are present, so the inner membrane is quite long as compared to the outer membrane. This inner membrane is having a dense liquid inside them, that is called matrix, and a DNA material of its own. So only the mitochondria is an organelle which is having the DNA material of its own. So these matrix you can see here, it is present inside the inner membrane, and this is the covering of the outer membrane. These folds of the inner membrane is known as cristae. I have labeled it, that is cristae, right? And the matrix in the intermolecular spaces present between the inner fold. The main function I have told you just now, that it is the site of the aerobic respiration and store energy in form of ATP. Mitochondria help in completing the aerobic respiration in all organisms. It's having enzymes, it's having DNA, it's having ribosomes for these vital activities. Next organelle is plastid. Plastid. Don't get confused. This is plastid, not plastid. Plastids are the large cell organelles found in plant cells. Remember students that plant cells are mainly present, plastids are mainly present in plant cell, which are specialized to synthesize and store organic substance. You have heard about the photosynthesis in earlier classes, and I think you should know that photosynthesis takes place inside the chloroplast, or you can know about this. What plastid having? Basically, these plastid contains pigments, and on the basis of the pigment which is necessary for the photosynthesis, that is chlorophyll, on the basis of that pigment basis, we can say that plastid are of two types. One is the leucoplast and second is the chromoplast. Leucoplast, that means having no color, जिसमें कोई color नहीं होता, उसको हम बोलते हैं leucoplast, यानी कि this type of plastid does not have any color. Otherwise, second chromoplast is a colored plastid, that means it is having pigments of colors. What type of pigment it is having? Chromoplast basically having two type of plastid. One which is colorless or having non-green. I am talking about non-green because green color is necessary for the photosynthesis. So the plastid which are red, orange, yellow in color due to the presence of carotenoids, while the plastid which are green in color that is green chromoplast we can say, is known as chloroplast. I have defined in this slide also that plastid or the basis of the pigment present in them, plastid, are of leucoplast and chromoplast. Leucoplast colorless plastid, chromoplast colored plastid. If we talk about the chromoplast, further chromoplast is divided into non-green chromoplast and green chromoplast. Non-green chromoplast, that means the color like orange, red and yellow due to the carotenoids, while the green chromoplast is known as chloroplast. Here something wrong in this spelling, please do correct it. It is chloroplast, CHLORO. So see the structure of the green colored chloroplast, that is green pigmentation, which is the site of the photosynthesis, because pigment chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis, and you have to study about the structure of the chloroplast. Basically, chloroplast is known as the kitchen of the cell because it contains green color plastid. Chloroplasts are known as the kitchen of the cell. These are the green color plastids due to the presence of pigment chlorophyll. They occur in green leaves and green part of the shoot. We always said that foods are created in the leaf. Yes, but photosynthesis takes place where the chlorophyll is present, either the stem or the leaves, because they are also green in color. A chloroplast is bound by envelope of two membranes. You can see here two membranes are present, outer membrane and the inner membrane. Inside this chloroplast you can see the matrix which is embedded in between these symbols. These are known as stroma, and the membranous structure, these stacks are basically known as grana. Each, the singular is known as granum. Each granum is consist of stack. You can see the structure of the grana, or each granum consists of these stacks. These are the stacks of membrane known as thylakoids. A single membrane is known as thylakoid. So here we can see this thylakoid consists of the this granum consists of the stack of thylakoids. It contains molecule of green chlorophyll and other pigments which take part in trapping the solar energy. The main function of these thylakoids is to trap the solar energy for the process of photosynthesis. हमें पता है कि फोटोसिंथेसिस के लिए हमें सन लाइट की ज़रूरत पड़ती है, तो सनलाइट को ट्रैप करने का काम कौन करते हैं? तो ये ग्रैनम के अंदर थाइक्लॉइड्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं जो स्टैक की फॉर्म में एक साथ जुड़े हुए होते हैं और यही काम करते हैं सोलर एनर्जी को ट्रैप करने के लिए. सो द मेन फंक्शन ऑफ द प्लास्टिड इज टू ट्रैप द सोलर एनर्जी because it carrying the pigment and it is the main site of photosynthesis because it contains the chloroplast. Hope by studying this plastid, now you are able to differentiate between the chloroplast and the chromoplast. So do practice these differences in your notebook which will help you a lot to attain good marks. Students, it's very important how you will get good marks by learning these slides. Here it is very important that I am you telling in very detail that each and every part of the organelle in form of diagram. So study them, practice these diagrams and you will find the differentiations between the different part of the cell. Finding these differences, you are able to manage, define and differentiate all the parts of the organelles. Next we talk about the lysosomes, a very small organelle, lysosomes, and the main function of the lysosomes is synthesis of enzymes. Lysosomes are small vesicle. Here you can see in the diagram, it's a very small body covered by a single membrane. The main function, it contains the digestive enzymes, and these enzymes help in the synthesis. These digestive enzymes mainly do the intracellular digestion. That means the digestion take place inside the cell only, and the waste disposal present inside the cell. Because of this function in intracellular digestion, lysosomes are also known as digestive bags. So here you can see small spherical vesicle covered by a single membrane which contain digestive enzyme for digestion. They are known as digestive bags. Sometimes it happen, होता क्या है कि जब ये डाइजेशन होता है इनके अंदर और ये धीरे धीरे ये सेल्स डैमेज हो जाते हैं, तो डैमेज होने के बाद क्योंकि इनके अंदर बहुत सारे एंजाइम्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं, ये बर्स्ट हो जाते हैं और बर्स्ट होने के बाद ये एंजाइम्स अपने ही सेल को खुद खा जाते हैं, तो इस वजह से हम इसको सुसाइडल बैग्स भी बोलते हैं. तो दीज समटाइम इन डैमेज सेल लाइसोसोम्स burst to release enzymes for digestion of cellular components. Because of this ability, they are known as suicidal bags. So the main function of lysosome is help in digestion, help in destruction of foreign material, as it contains enzyme, so it kills all the foreign materials, and also help in removing the waste from the body and removing the dead and worn out cellular organelle. Next important organelle, that is vacuole. Vacuole mainly used for food storage. Mainly these are present both in animal cell and plant cell, but they are present in big size in plant cell. In case of animal cells, they are very small. Vacuoles are the membrane bound sac that contains solid or liquid contents. They have not sac shape or size, and the cell can change them as it wants. They are found in both animal and plant cell, but are much larger in plant cell. Because of this presence of large vacuole in plant cell, all the organelles comes into the periphery of the plant cell. Have you studied the structure of the plant cell and the animal cell? You will find it that all the organelles in plant cell are present in the periphery because a large vacuole is present at the center. So that's why we can say all the organelles in plant cell are eccentric, while in case of animal cells, vacuoles are in small parts and they are scattered. They are present in different part of the animal cell. So hope all the organelles are clear to you. This will help you in learning the differentiation between the plant cells and the animal cells, because you will find some organelles present in the plant cell but absent in the animal cell. For example, if we talk about the cell wall plastids, these are present in the plant cell, while if we talk about the centrosome, it is present in the animal cell. So each and an organelle is perform its own function and help in metabolic activity of the cell. So it's very important to learn the difference on the basis of organelles in between the plant cell and animal cells. If you find any problem, do write me in comment section. I will help you out. Coming to the last topic of this series, cell, we have to learn in brief what is cell division. Students, it's very easy to learn about it. In the earlier videos, we have discussed about the cell theory, where I have told you that all cells are created by the cells only. जितने भी cells बनते हैं वो सिर्फ cell से ही नए cells create होते हैं. तो फिर ये कैसे possible है? तो this is possible with the help of cell division only. The process by which a parent cell आफ्टर ग्रोथ एंड रेप्लिकेशन डिवाइड, कोई भी पेरेंट सेल जब पूरी ग्रोथ होने के बाद डिवाइड होता है, तो डिवाइड होने पर जो नए सेल्स बनते हैं उनको हम बोलते हैं डॉटर सेल्स, और इस डिवीजन को, इस सेल के टूटने को हम बोलते हैं सेल डिवीजन. सेल डिवीजन इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर द ग्रोथ ऑफ इंडिविजुअल रिप्लेसमेंट. जैसे जैसे सेल मैच्योर होने लगता है, ग्रोथ लेने लगता है, तो वो ओल्ड हो जाता है और ओल्ड होने के बाद उसके फंक्शंस कम होने लगते हैं. तो इट्स टाइम, आफ्टर मेच्योरिटी इट्स टाइम फॉर द सेल डिवीजन एंड गिव डेवलपमेंट टू द न्यू सेल्स. जो सेल डिवीजन होता है दैट इज ऑफ टू टाइप्स. द वन इज माइटोसिस एंड सेकेंड इज मियोसिस. अगर हम माइटोसिस की बात करते हैं तो मैं आपको बताऊं कि माइटोसिस के अंदर डॉटर सेल्स जो होते हैं, यानी कि जब सेल डिवाइड होकर नए सेल बनाता है, उन नए सेल को हम कहते हैं डॉटर सेल. और वो डॉटर सेल जेनेटिकली स्ट्रक्चर वाइज बिल्कुल सेम वैसे ही होते हैं जैसे मदर सेल होता है. ठीक है, which the daughter cells are genetically similar to each other as well as to their mother cell. While meiosis is the double division which occurs in diploid cells involving reduction division. तो meiosis mainly reduce करता है, it keeps on dividing, double division होगा, diploid convert होगा into different formation of haploid cell, यानी कि reduction होगा क्रोमोसोम्स का और क्रोमोसोम्स जो हैं दोनों सेल्स के अंदर हाफ हाफ हो जाएंगे, जिसको हम बोलते हैं हैप्लॉइड नंबर, एंड इट फॉर्म्स द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ 4 हैप्लॉइड सेल्स. सो होप दिस डिफरेंस क्लियर टू यू दैट इन माइटोसिस बोथ हैप्लॉइड एंड डिप्लॉइड सेल्स occur, while in case of meiosis only diploid cells formed. In division, if we talk about mitosis, it's a single division and produce 2 genetically similar daughters, while the double division take place in meiosis. Chromosome numbers in case of mitosis remains the same, while the chromosome number become half in case of meiosis. So this is all about the cell division. Hope you will able to learn each and every organelle of the cell, how it come into the existence, how it divides, and how it forms the new cells. We are winding up this video, and before winding up, some common question. Students, do learn this and do find the answer of these questions. Name the smallest organelle. I want these answers in the comment section. The smallest organelle. Largest cell organelle in plants. Largest cell organelle in animal. Largest cell structure. So I will wait for your answer of these following questions. Do write me and do like and keep subscribing this video and keep sharing with your friends. I know you are liking these videos, but it is not share, you people are not sharing. So I would like to keep sharing with your friends and ask them to subscribe this video. Thank you.